Hello everyone, I thought I'd show you a quick way of making gratitude tags like I had done with mixed media on black watercolor paper. I'll link to that video so you can see how this background was created on black watercolor paper using various different media, including but not limited to gouache, oil pastels, distress crayons, colored pencils, and acrylic markers. So once this background is done, what I usually do is I had been, and I shared this in another video, is make a motif, a leaf motif, and block out everything else except for the leaf motif with metallic watercolor paint. I thought I'd try something different and see how that would work. So today I cut up this one sheet of paper. I got 8 tags out of it. And today I wanted to see what would happen if I used a gel plate. Now you can see I don't really clean my gel plates. There's a reason for that, and the reason is that I like just pulling off previous layers. A bit of history goes into every single creation that way. And I'm just going to use parchment colored acrylic paint from Liquitex. This is Liquitex Basics. And I usually don't throw these away when paint accumulates and dries up on my paint bottle because I use that as a mixed media piece as well. And I'll show you, I have pieces over here that I've collected from previous dried paint bottle openings. Don't throw away anything. That's cute. I don't know where that sticker came from. Okay, so just a little blob is enough, and I'm using my Speedball brayer. I just have a preference for the soft rubber brayer, but any brayer that you are used to working with works. And I'm going to roll off the excess on my other gel plate here instead of using paper. You can always use paper to roll off your excess. I'm going to try to see if this masking is going to work. I do have a very, very thin layer. I'm noticing it's drying up. So if you notice that your layer is almost drying up when you're getting ready to put your mask and the paper you want to get the print on, it's a good idea to re-moisten it with a little bit more paint. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. And I'm going to place this over my leaf, just like that. Press down. I have a tag over here that I'm going to use so that I can apply some pressure. And I love this part because it's always a surprise. You never know if the idea that you have in your head is actually going to translate into reality the way you think it will. It's always a nice surprise, I think. And there you have it. I love that you can still see a bit of the background from the black watercolor paper and what was done. For sake of comparison, here is what the background looked like. This is what it looks like now. And I love doing this technique where I have a leaf motif. You can always pick up this Coast print. I am not working with Coast prints right now, so I'm just kind of cleaning the plate. I like the parchment instead of the stark white as my masked off area. It's not gray, it's not stark. It's just a nice neutral color. Okay, and we're going to try it one more time. This time, maybe put the leaf a bit different. We're going to take this tag. Okay, so this time we have the leaf on like this. And we're going to position this just like we did earlier. Go with the brayer on it. Apply a good amount of pressure. Take it off. Gently peel your watercolor paper, and look at that. Isn't that just so beautiful? I'm loving how it tones it down and makes it look so ethereal. It's just gorgeous to me. Okay, let's keep doing this. This time I'm not picking up the ghost print on my tag just to see if that actually has an effect on the underlayer. And you always want to lift your brayer up and away, up and away, up and away. Okay, it's got a thin layer of paint. Let's try it with another leaf stencil here. We'll try this one. This is what this looks like. Black watercolor paper, lots of metallic watercolor and other mediums on it. Place it however you'd like. Put another sheet of paper on it. Press down with your brayer. I used to love massaging my gel plates, but my fingers hurt, so I'm using my brayer as an alternative massage roller. Ooh, look at that. So pretty. And I will do some further enhancements for those of you thinking that this is becoming way too dull, like you're going from a really, really vibrant, shiny background to something that is so mellow that it's kind of diffusing into the background. Now, sometimes that effect is really cool. I'm actually really digging it. But to make those leaves stand out a bit more, I'll show you some really, really quick techniques how you can make them pop even more. Here's this one. Let's see what happens. I think you're pretty guaranteed to get a good result every single time you do this, no matter what your background is. It doesn't have to be black watercolor paper and mixed media techniques that you have used. No matter what your original background is, using one color, any color you choose, it could be a dark Prussian blue, a dark gray, a black, a white, a bright red, whatever color you choose, as long as it's opaque, it will give you some stunning results every single time. This has some of my daughter's handwriting on it too, since this was a collaborative mixed media piece we did. She did some strokes, I did some, and we were just having a fun play date. It was a 2-hour painting that we created together, and now I get to transform it into something that other people can enjoy by turning these into gratitude tags that I can hand out in my local community. This one I especially love. It's so pretty. The colors are just so beautiful, and I love that the subtlety of this in the background. So beautiful. And I like the leaf kind of dancing a bit. I'm going to try that placement for some other tags in a different way and see if an upside down leaf looks good. So you're just basically doing the same thing. And you could also do multiple colors, although I think when you have a busy background like this, having a single color is probably best. I'm going to try an upside down. Oh, this one has a little heart over here. So let's see how that looks. And it doesn't matter if you place your tag a bit crooked. It's all abstract. It's all good. There are no mistakes when it comes to gel plate printing. There are no mistakes when it comes to making gratitude tags. What matters is that you enjoy the process. You're guaranteed that the person receiving the tag will love it. This is actually cool either way, right? I think it looks cool either way. But I like it like this because of this, these lines here on this. Very cool. Okay, 2 more to go, and I'll quickly show you how I make the leaves pop. I also especially love the white in this one and how it's kind of, in all of them, the white dots are kind of the unifying theme. It's so cool how you see some elements just bringing it together. Really, really cool how that just works out serendipitously. That's a difficult word to say. Okay, one more time. Place that on. Roll the brayer nice and hard. And reveal. This one looks like it's swaying in the wind. Beautiful. All right, last one. You know what, for the last one, I want to do something different. I want to see if, and also show you if a darker background makes it look completely different. And I know it will. I think it will change the look entirely. It will transform the look completely. And I want to show you how. So here we've got some Prussian blue. I just love this color. It's one of my favorite colors. It's got such a deep, commanding vibe to it. You cannot not notice it. You cannot ignore it. Okay, we're going to take this leaf. I think we'll take this one and maybe place it a bit off center like that. Take this. Now we've already seen the effect that the parchment is producing, right? It's just whitening out everything else. Let's see what the dark blue does, what the Prussian blue does here. So I'm going to place it over here. And don't worry if it doesn't turn out looking as good as the ones we've just done. Don't worry. It will not look the same. We already know that going in, right? What we're not going to worry about controlling the outcome. We're just going to enjoy it. And we'll see whatever happens, happens. Okay, let's see what that did. So you see how the entire nature of your painting changes based on the color you choose to block out details. I don't necessarily like this one better, so what I can do to provide some more drama is go back to my parchment, and again, it's okay if I ruin this. Totally fine with that. There is nothing like ruining. I am playing. This is my last gratitude tag, and I want to play. Except I didn't clean my brayer off entirely, so now this is a light blue, and I don't want it to be a light blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a baby wipe. It's so good that things like these happen, because then I can show you in real time how my process works, how I quote unquote recover from quote unquote mistakes, and how I just keep going. Now, another thing I could have done to clean this, which I will, is just roll my tag on. There we go, that just cleans it so beautifully. More better than the white would. And then I also want to clean the brayer. So there we go. Okay, now we should get our parchment. So let's see. Instead of a light blue. Okay, we're still going to get hints of light blue, but I think I'm okay with that. And this time I'm going to use this leaf, not the stencil that I used earlier. This is the different one, okay? And I'm going to see, so when I place this, this leaf is facing this way. So I want to place my leaf this way. I'm just going to place this on. Oops, I'm going to show you what this looks like. It looks like this. I'm flipping it over. I'm going to place this on. And I'm not going to waste this tag. This is going to end up becoming some kind of mixed media project too. So make sure this goes over nice and hard. Okay, you see? That's what I'm talking about, recovering. This is how you recover from something. And this looks really different now because it has that hint of Prussian blue that none of the others do. So you can still create something absolutely magnificent, even if you didn't like that first layer that you were trying to mask off something with. Now to enhance, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pencil that is water soluble, and I'm trying to go for a dark color. So I'll probably use an ink black. This is an ink black. And I'm just going to go on the undersides of these leaves. Just the undersides here. Okay. Very, very simple outline, not doing much. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see better. But I'm not doing anything drastic. I am just simply doing that. So just outlining the bottom. Okay, so there's a clear distinction, and it kind of will start looking like a shadow, you'll see. I'll do the same thing on this one. I actually should have picked the other leaf. Just doing a shadow on the underside. There we go. And I'll pick another leaf here. Let's use this one. And we'll do the underside shadow on this side on the left. Just stay consistent with where you're placing your shadow. Just choose a side and stick with the direction you choose. It doesn't have to be a leaf. You might choose another motif. Here we go. So we have these three, and I'm going to take my water pen. This has water in it. Squirt some out, and then just take my water pen and just drag the pigment that I just used. And you see how it's the simplest thing, but it will make your leaf or your motif, whatever motif you've chosen, whichever stencil you've chosen to block out the background, it will stand out. It's really, really simple. And if you don't have a watercolor pencil, but you have a fountain pen or a pen that is water soluble, you can use that pen. There are many pens that are water soluble. You can just use one of those. You don't have to go and buy a water soluble color pencil to do this. And I usually just kind of smudge with my fingers. And you have a raised effect. It's the simplest of tricks, I tell you, to make something that's really nice stand out just that little bit more. Just a teeny tiny bit more of an attention grabber than it would be on its own. It's not a big adjustment. You're not drastically changing the nature of this gel plate print. You are simply allowing it to stand out just a bit more. And remember, this is watercolor paper that I used, so it can take copious amounts of water. And I'm just trying to make sure that that black is not a harsh line. It's more of a subdued look, more of a shadow. And if you want, you can use a walnut brown or a dark gray instead of using a black. If you do have water-soluble pencils, if you don't have water-soluble pencils and you're using a black fountain pen or any other kind of pen, see how simple that is? So you continue doing that, and then if you want to add some additional marks, you can always do that. But the next step that I do is I round out the corners just to get a sense of where this is going to land, where my design is going to land. And again, it's the simplest things. A lot of people use these not as wallet keepers. A lot of people actually do have them in their wallets. I've met them years later and they'll take it out of their wallet and show me their gratitude tag. But a lot of people use these as bookmarks, I'm noticing. They tell me that they're using these as bookmarks. So that's nice that, you know, they're finding a nice way to use these gratitude tags that I've been handing out. And if you would like to take a workshop on how to make different kinds of gratitude tags and the story behind my gratitude tags, and when I started doing this and the lives it has touched, including mine, you should watch another one of my free YouTube videos where I share all of those details. Now this is my crocodile. I'm just going to go in and try to find the center. Doesn't have to be perfect. Make a little hole in there. So I'm trying to figure out before I start doing my mark making where all these elements are going to be that are non-negotiable. So where the hole's going to be for the ribbon, how the corners are. And I'm just doing these three so you can see these start to finish in a sense. I'll get my little thingamajigs here. I think a dark blue will look nice. There we go. For this one, maybe do a red. I mean, you could basically do any color. These are all so colorful. You could do any color would work with each of these. And then maybe do another dark blue for this one since blue seems to be the theme. There. And then we'll add a ribbon after we make sure that this is secure. So that's all nice and secure now. We'll do the same thing for this one and repeat. So I make hundreds of these every week, hundreds of gratitude tags, and I hand out 100 or more every week. And I make them using all different kinds of techniques. So it's nice to be able to incorporate lots of different ideas onto these mini canvases and hand them out. Now to jazz this up a bit, what I would do is use some gold. And for this one, again, very, very simple way of enhancing something is just to go like this and add some dots. You could add some veins if you'd like. I mean, you could really go to town and make it super snazzy. And see, a simple thing like these gold dots just enhance it so much already. And then I'm going to grab my roll of thank you stickers that I have here, which you don't have to do thank you stickers. Because I do hundreds of these, it's super convenient to just stick this on. And it's foiled. It's really pretty in real life. And then maybe sand some of these edges because of how I ripped it off my watercolor journal. So I just simply just sand it a bit, or I will trim it so those fibers don't keep sticking out. And then you can do some mark making too. Let me just add the stickers while I have them out here. These are from Amazon. You can also just print out the word thank you on your printer, cut them out and stick them. You can stamp and emboss. There are so many ways that you can make this work for you, whatever works for you. That's the most important thing, is that you have fun and it works for you. Okay, let's just move this away and see what we can do with this one. I think I'm going to do a line in this one because it already has those pink dots. Maybe just add some veins here. See how simple it is? Just a gold pen. It does wonders, I feel. Just these little things. Again, for this one, I'm going to do a line through the middle, but I'm not going to do the veins in this one. I do want to do some more gold here and there. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a specific thing. It can be whatever you're feeling like doing in the moment. Just do it. Don't overthink any of this. This is just for you to enjoy and then to pass on so someone else can feel the joy that you felt while creating it. And it's a way of acknowledging people and thanking them and saying, I see you. I see what you're doing for our community. I acknowledge the work, the effort you're putting in. And yes, it's just a job, but thank you so much for doing it. You know, garbage truck collectors, the garbage truck drivers, they never get thanked. They honk a lot at kids because kids love them, but imagine if a kid went up to them and gave them a gratitude tag. That would just make their day. Yesterday I was at a clinic and I gave a gratitude tag to an ultrasound tech, and she said, I wish I could hug you if it weren't for COVID. This will take me through the rest of the week. That's powerful. That's really powerful to me, that a simple thing like this that took less than 10 minutes for me to do can have that kind of an impact on someone. And then the last thing I would do is add some ribbons. Let me grab some ribbon. You can do fancy ribbon, you can do simple ribbon, all kinds of ribbon here. I think I'll just do a simple ribbon. These are simple tags. I want the focus to be on the tag itself. So just twist a little bit. You already have your little eyelet in here. Pass it through. There you have it. A simple little token of gratitude that you can then write a little personalized note to the person you're giving it to. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It can be as simple as, thank you so much for your kindness, have an amazing day. Or, I have recently been writing things like, you matter, what you do matters. Keep being you. There was another person at the receptionist's desk the other day. I handed something to that effect to, and she was so teary-eyed, and she said, I needed to hear this. I need to put myself first. I promised to myself this weekend I will do just that. So, you know, it's little things. That's how we lift each other up. So make sure you're doing whatever you can do to make your corner of the world a kinder place. When we share gratitude, when we give gratitude, it also fills our bucket. It makes our hearts more joyful. It has a ripple effect. One more story. I handed a tag recently to a guy who was preparing rotisserie chicken, and I gave him the tag. I said, thank you. And he said, for me? And I said, yes, you work so hard, you make such delicious food, and we get to enjoy it. And he was beaming. And then as I walked away, I heard him greet the next customer with, hello, sir, how are you? What can I do for you today? And he had the chirpiest of voices. His entire stance, his attitude changed. And that is what I'm talking about, a ripple effect. He felt acknowledged, he felt appreciated, and he wanted to pass that on to someone else. He brought a different energy just in the next couple of moments. So I hope that you enjoyed this and that you will make your own gratitude tags and hand these out in your communities as well. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your joining, and if you have any questions, just shoot me a comment and I will do my best to help.